and welcome to another week of Just Gay Stuff. I'm Lauren.
And I am Jess. And today we are podcasting from this really beautiful spot. It is called Death By Mullet Barbershop, and it is owned by one of our guests here today. We are interviewing two guests, not one, but two.
Wow.
We have never done two guests before, so this is
two at the same time.
Oh, calm down. I love it already. This is getting warm and spicy in here. All right. So today we are interviewing two of the original members of one of Brisbane's best queer punk rock bands, Being Jane Lane. Today we have Lou and Teigan.
Hello. Hi. Hey.
Say hello, Lou.
Oh, hello. I'm Lou.
Say hello, Teigan.
Hi, I'm Teigan.
Now, for everybody who's not visually watching, you can tell their voices apart. So you'll know who's answering questions.
Louise, the one that sounds like a horse.
That's just when I laugh.
A horse. That's just because she's been sick.
Thank you.
It's all the time.
She has an excuse.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
No, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, it is nice to be here. This is a beautiful space, I have to say.
Thank you.
It's really cool. I love all the pop culture
Yeah, we
things.
just slapped some stuff on the walls,
Yeah,
really.
just casually.
Yeah, there was no rhyme or reason to that.
Shout out Natty B.
Oh, yeah, some great artwork from a Brisbane artist called Natty B. I'll check her out. She's done a lot of our artwork in here, so...
Awesome.
Very colourful.
Well, let's start off by talking about the band. I remember first seeing you guys when you opened for Red Jumpsuit and Hawthorne Heights at the Bright
yeah, I
Side.
forgot about that.
That's when I first saw you guys take the
Yeah.
stage.
Wow, that's how long we've known each other for.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
a long
Time.
Yes.
It's crazy. So tell us a bit about how you both got into music in the first place and then the road to forming Being Jane Lane.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 13, not like lessons or anything, just mucking around at home. Then later on in life got in a band of my own, playing my own songs. And then, got asked to play Being Jane Lane.
Where did you meet?
Through Being Jane Lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, so Being Jane Lane was something that I sort of came up with. I just wanted to be in a girl band. I just always had trouble just
Same.
I don't know. And then someone it's a really strange story. Someone I used to work with literally just said, oh, you'll never find like a female drummer. And I was like, well, challenge accepted. And I just rounded up all these women and found a female drummer. And then we didn't have a singer. And a mutual friend of ours kind of put us in touch. And I don't know, I picked you up one day randomly from your house. I was like,
Yeah,
you're
it
coming
was
to
like
this band
an
practice.
audition in like Burleigh or something.
Yeah, down the Gold Coast, yeah.
And I don't even think I sang that day. And you guys were like, you're in. And we took photos.
Yeah.
Oh, I sang one of my songs.
That's right, yeah. I'm like, well, go
Not
and
any
sing.
Being Jane Lane
Yeah.
songs,
And then
yeah.
the rest was just history, really. We didn't have a plan, really. It just sort of happened.
Just kept going and going.
And now it's still going. 10
Wow.
years later.
10
It's
years
still,
later.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's not the most exciting story, but it was just really
Well,
random.
it's kind of exciting. I
think-
remember seeing the page start on Facebook and it was like Being Jane Lane. It was all these girls. And I was like, man, why aren't I in that band? And then
10 years later.
Linda messaged me and asked me if I was still in my band. And I was like, yeah. And then left it at that. But then you messaged me and was like, oh, my guitarist just messaged and she was too scared to ask, but do you want to come and jam and play with us? And I was like, yeah, okay. And I was nervous. Then that was that. And then, the rest is history.
It is, and I will say...
New female drummers.
Yeah, we've had a couple,
exist.
we've had a
There's
couple
more
of
than
female
one.
drummers in that
Yeah.
time.
They're very rare though.
They are.
They are, yeah.
But I feel like now, 10 years later after we started, there's just all female bands everywhere.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's a lot more
Yeah,
now.
there's
and
so many now.
yeah.
So,
Do you
and
feel
that's
like you
great to see.
started a trend?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Own that. Good. Own it. Yes.
I don't know, in the most humblest way, and it is just a really good feeling. I've had a few women come to me and be like, "Hey, I've started this band because of Being Jane Lane," and
Wow.
not in a. I don't want it to sound up ourselves or anything, but
It's the truth, mate.
But it's more just it just feels pretty good, and
Yeah.
playing queer festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've had girls come up and be like, "Wow, I haven't had any artists to relate to, especially lesbian, musicians and stuff
Yeah.
like that in Brisbane." So I think that despite whatever our journey holds, we've done some cool things and
Definitely.
Change some lives.
told people it's okay to
Yeah.
get on a stage if you're a
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you guys always adamant about being an all-girl band and a
Yeah.
queer
Yeah.
band?
Super.
Yeah. We had this
very.
weird rule that if anyone couldn't
To
play
an
a sh-
annoying point.
Yeah, if anyone couldn't play a show and we had to get a replacement in,
It would
we'd get
always be the guy, so that no one would
threat.
feel like it was being replaced.
Yeah, so that's only guys are allowed, but it's just
only
fill in.
just for fun.
It's just something that
Yeah.
I was just like, why not? Why can't you?
Yeah.
I just think that we've had some hurdles in terms of lineup changes and
Like all bands.
like all bands do, but obviously
not all,
we're very
but
targeted in being, a girl band, and somehow we've always kept that.
Yeah.
We've always found women that are so good at their instruments and the chemistry's there and it works. So
Yeah,
it
and
can be done.
willing to do the
Go the
slog
hard
that it
yards.
is.
You guys know.
I think that's good because, as you mentioned, it is a hurdle to try and keep your band members in the first
Yeah.
place.
Oh, gosh.
Because
Yeah.
it's like a relationship, and depending how many people are in your band, you're in a relationship with
This is
that
the
many
longest
people.
relationship I've
Yeah.
ever had.
Truth.
But
Yeah.
you know, we all lead individual lives, and then trying to get everyone together for certain
Exactly.
things.
Yeah, and we
And be
understand.
enthused as well. Like you just keep got to showing up. So it does get hard, but yeah, I feel like it's good once you're there and you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
And we appreciate everything the past members have done. Like they're still our friends, and
Yeah.
we've all left on good terms. It's just life
They're doing their
happens.
own thing.
Life does
Absolutely.
happen,
Yeah.
and like one of our guitarists, Kate, she wanted to have a baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing, and by like go girl, get it. I know she misses it, but that was a life path she had to take. So we're not there, obviously,
It's
but we're still trying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look, not for a baby though.
the band is our baby.
I'm glad
That's
you
it.
had to make that clear.
yeah. Just in case you were wondering. Yeah, Bean Jane Lane is the baby.
It's our
I think.
10-year-old child.
I always feel like it's like an entity outside of all of us. Like we're a part of something bigger, which is Being Jane Lane. It's none of us and all of us at the same time. But yeah, that's why it takes everybody to make it work at the end of the
It
day.
really does.
Yeah.
It truly does.
Yeah.
It's the baby that needs to be raised by the village.
Yeah, exactly right. And everybody's got to show up and do their part.
Yep.
And sometimes that's exhausting.
It is.
But yeah.
It's
But then you get on that stage and you're just like, yes!
It's also different when you know what the creative process is like. It's not just you go to rehearsal and that's where that work stops, or you go on stage and that's where that work stops, especially now with social media and marketing.
Yeah.
You go home and you have to post and you have to stay relevant and you
Yeah.
have to do new stuff.
Staying relevant
and
is
Yeah.
the key word there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we aren't really great at staying relevant. Just posting is hard, as you guys know. Like
Yeah.
it's a job, it's a second
is.
job. So we do what we can. But yeah, we play shows.
Yeah. But you've done well. You've done well because
Yeah, I
you've
appreciate
stayed
that.
on the
Thank you.
radar, which is awesome.
Yeah, well,
That's a weird thing too, because
yeah.
we get that, like, we get this all the time. Like, people are like, hey, Beej. I'm like, oh, hey, we're out there, we're doing things.
yeah,
It's just-
like it's interesting when we get asked to do things and we're like, wow, how did we get offered this opportunity? Like the last one that we did last weekend. Yeah, we did a huge show at Goma. It's not Goma, that's in Brisbane. Where's the other?
Hotter.
Hotter.
Hotter, yes.
It's hotter.
Hotter.
Home of the
Yeah.
We were
art.
instructed that very
It's,
clearly.
yeah, written in there. Look, and I just called it Goma, so, you know.
Do you know where you
Yeah,
are?
no, look, I obviously don't. But yeah, no,
Tegan
it was
at a different
hotter.
show.
Tegan's everywhere.
All art is just in my heart. But yeah, no, it was hotter at the amphitheatre outside, and it was one of the most epic things we've ever been a part of.
Huge.
It's like a huge amount of guitarists, like over
played with
200.
50
Yeah, there was
guitarists.
50 on
Wow.
our song. Yeah,
Wow.
we did Blitzkrieg Bop. Yeah, 50 guitarists rocking out.
And two drummers, our drummer and another drummer.
Yeah.
That is
it was epic.
insane.
And it was a crazy big night.
Yeah,
It
Cram
was-
from Spiderbait, Patience,
Patience.
from the Greats. It was just
Smith
huge.
Warhurst was hosting. It was epic.
So we got asked to play this, and we were like, why?
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Those are the kinds of things where you're just like, okay.
They're like, oh, yeah, apparently we're still okay on the Gold Coast, and people had talked about us, and they grabbed us for this show, and I'm like I said, we just played a Ramones song with a bunch of guitarists, and it was the most bizarre thing, but it was awesome. Yeah.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really wild opportunity. That's like, it reminds me of the other time that we got to play. We did that rip-off Tism clip
Oh, yeah.
for a
The
band
video
called
clip.
Hey Geronimo.
Yeah,
And that
it
was
was
a
years
cool
ago.
experience. It was like 21 bands from Brisbane.
And they were,
like,
just, they were mocking or doing like
yeah,
a
they were
remake of a
ripping off
Tism,
the Tism film
video
clip.
clip.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was like
weird things
very
we've been
cool.
asked to
And that was
do.
just epic events
Yeah.
like that are just like, wow, like all this is like, you know, you just don't get to experience those kinds of things every day.
Well, whatever you're doing, don't change it because it's working.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't need extra marketing. And
Yeah,
just
maybe
stay
not.
on what you're doing.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit untruthful to put too much effort in because I don't like doing it. I don't. So I just just do what I can if I'm like feeling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're a huge presence on the internet. I think we're mostly in Brisbane. Like Louise is everywhere in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
In a good way.
in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. Like you can't walk outside with somebody being like, "Oh, that was my friend." one of those people, you know.
I'm gonna get around. Well, I was also working at the zoo as well, so that was I put myself in the middle of the music scene.
You've done a lot of cool shit because you were booking shows for a while as well. You booked our band on a bunch of shows at a time.
Look, that was a time. I probably won't go back to doing that, but it was.
It's a hard slog.
That is, yeah. On top of everything else, that is a hard thing. But I mean, there was Birkenstock, which was
cool, fun.
Yeah, that was
gay
really
time.
good. Now, but unfortunately, with the zoo closing, I need a new home for that one. So if anyone has any ideas for queer-friendly spaces, not including the obvious, let me know.
Going back to your musical journey for a minute, Lou, what made you start playing bass? Or did you start on a different instrument?
Yeah, I was in high school and I remember I was like jamming with these dudes and of course no one played bass. So I did start playing guitar for a hot minute and then
you were the default bass
into
person.
it. Yeah,
everyone's a default bassist.
I was
I feel like
but also I was all right at it and I quite liked it. I actually said to my mum recently, I was like, remember when I was 16 and you bought me that shitty like $200 bass and was like, oh, this is just another thing she's going to do and I'm still doing it. So she was like, yeah, good. Thanks. But yeah, honestly, it was just, I started playing in high school with some dudes and like I started to get into my musical journey and I was into punk and stuff like that, and I moved to Brisbane when I was about 19 because Gold Coast was
different,
bad for music.
Terrible.
So I moved to Brisbane and had a bit of a journey until I got to where like sort of the beach status. But yeah, I don't know, it happened really like in my mind it's just kind of always been there. Music's always been a part of my life. Bass has always been a part of my life. I always say like I'll never claim to be the best bass player, but I just love being like in a band and I play music with my best friends and I get to play the gigs and I've had so many opportunities with these girls, like meeting people that I was playing bass to when I was 16 and now I'm playing, I'm supporting them. We are supporting them and it has been an incredible time, like reflecting now on that, being like I never planned for that, but it's cool.
Regardless of skill though, regardless if you're the best bass player or you're not, I think the important thing is to be relatable and be personable because you guys, I've seen you guys play heaps of times. So much fun on stage, so much fun to watch. There's a presence there.
That's what we do. We love playing and that's like, all the other stuff is awesome,
across.
But we just love playing live and like you'll know this as well, like chemistry as a band is very important. And I think that's something we've always clicked. Whoever's been in the band, we've always clicked, and you can't do that with people that you're not at least mates with. I think there's got to be an element of friendship there to do what we do and just have fun with it. And like we write the songs, we like the songs. If you like them, cool, but we're gonna have a good time. I think that's just how we've always seen it, and it's just things have just happened and we've never forced it or tried really hard.
I personally have always felt like the ball is always rolling. Like every time we finish one thing, something else comes up, and that's always just how it's been. And I feel like we always just like anybody who does anything in the arts realms, like that's what happens. You know what I mean? One opportunity leads, and you probably even know through your podcast as well. One thing leads to the next thing, and so on. And for us, it's just sort of been going for 10 years. It just keeps going.
And it's important to stay on that like rolling stone mentality because a rolling stone gathers moss, all that kind of shit.
Yes,
so,
in saying exactly that, we've spent a lot of our years going to shows, and being personable is definitely a thing. Like where we are out a lot in the scene, and I was at the zoo every weekend. Like we are out and about, and I think that is an important thing if you're going to be in a band. Community.
But that's what I think too. The music community in Brisbane is pretty solid.
And that's helped us a lot because people are enthused. People go to shows.
People do go to shows.
And we obviously return the favour. Like obviously you get older and it gets harder to do that, but we try and stay in with people, and also like booking bands and stuff like that. Like that obviously helps, and I think it's just a matter of because we love it. We love music. We love like hanging out with people. I feel like going for a cheeky drink, all brought together. And you're in the scene, you're in the community, and you like without even knowing it, you're supporting people.
Exactly.
So we spoke about your name being Jane Lane. Where did that name come from?
Daria.
Daria.
So Daria, if you don't know, was a cartoon in like the 90s. So Daria had a best friend called Jane Lane. And there actually is it was in one of the like movie episodes, there was a quote and Daria says to Jane Lane, like, you're going to go off being Jane Lane. And that always just clicked with me. And I remember proposing it to the band being like, I don't know if this is really dumb, guys, but hey. And everyone was like, I hope probably be a girl band. Everyone's like, yes. It was one and done really. That was it. That was the name. And
I wasn't even there for that.
They were like, Teigan, come be a part of this band. We're called Being Jane Lane. You were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, I already saw the Facebook page and I already had a name. They already had a name, so I was like, that looks like a cool band.
We jumped in those songs. We had a name.
Yeah.
Done and
That's
dusted.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, that was honestly it was just something I put out there, and I was lucky that everyone agreed on it. And yeah, it's a weird name in terms of like we definitely get asked a lot, and it is like a lot of dudes don't know. A lot
And
of
the
guys don't
reference
know.
is fading away in time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We're showing our age talking about
Yeah.
Dara.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, we actually
None of the kids I work with know about it.
But in saying that, like, Ari is due for a comeback about soon. One of the
Somebody.
so Netflix or
They've
something's got to put it on.
Have you seen that fake video that they made with Aubrey Plaza?
Oh, I didn't see that.
They
yeah.
have this video of Aubrey Plaza being Daria, and it's like it looks like it was a real movie, but it wasn't.
It was like
It was
thing.
punk. It was too.
Look, Margot
what
Robbie
you're
will
talking
probably produce it or something.
Oh, look,
Yeah,
it's due for a
hopefully.
comeback at some point.
Yeah,
And,
I'd be there. I'd watch it. They've got to have that up the sleeve somewhere. They're probably just working out the music rights or
Look,
something.
if they didn't, they'll listen to this episode and
Yeah,
they'll go, get a jump on
onto
that
it.
shit.
we actually did the theme song for a while. We covered the theme song
Yeah.
from Daria for a while, which was,
Yeah.
it was actually really fun.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah, it was
Truly,
fun.
yeah.
But we should bring that back one time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
that back.
It's actually a cool song, yeah.
So we've covered the name, but why punk grungy? What inspired the music?
Probably live.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
mainly
I mean,
punk,
like
but-
I just was always punk.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, you know.
I feel like it started out with Lou's idea for it to be a pop punk band,
Yeah.
but kind of moved to more like of a punk rock heavier-ish.
Obviously, Tegan's vocals
Will
had a
also be
big part to
popular.
play in that. But whatever it was, it just... Look, honestly, I'm just going to say this now. One thing I really pride ourselves on is not having a one type of music. Like, I think we get from heavy, we get a little bit softer. Tegan's vocal range is, you know, like, she's got some very nice vocals, or she can push it. So, in our new album that is coming out, we've got some softer songs on there, which really shows Tegan's like, vocals.
We had that on the one that's already out too.
We did, but I think that, I think even now, like, I think our style's changing a bit. We're maturing. The lineup's changed. I think that our range is sort of tipping more a bit to the rockier kind of side as well.
I feel like every one of us that's in the band or has ever been in the band at any point in time was like a punk grunge kid as well. So that's like the influence we had.
Everyone's influences. Like our old guitarist Phoebe was like a metal head. Like she was we had some like,
but also like
heavier
Sum
kind of stuff
41
in there.
and Maroon 5.
Yeah,
you know, like,
so we've got some. I think we're all over the place, and I don't like just saying we're like one thing. I think anymore.
Yeah,
Versatile.
Genre benders, but not even really. I don't think we're that.
We just write what we write, man. Oh, a song.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
music.
You mentioned as well about having an all-girl lineup, queer lineup. Adamant about that, or didn't matter?
Probably you can't.
I think it just happens that way.
Happen,
Because gay chicks are in
we
music.
gravitate.
Yeah, like heaps of lesies play guitars. Like
Yeah.
always pick up an
We
acoustic
do.
guitar. True that. I feel like that's the vibe. You just
heard
look
it
out.
here first. Leslie's
A
play
guitarist.
guitar.
Oh, okay. Also gay. How convenient.
In your experience, though, did you ever feel like audiences underestimated you because it was an all-female lineup?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna say audiences. I'm like sound guys.
Sound guys.
are the worst,
Sound guys can be.
That's probably
like
the
that.
most, but
And audiences,
Yeah.
but not. I feel like that's like there's one or two people, and they're usually dudes who have something to say afterwards.
like we've definitely heard that. Oh, I didn't expect that from you
Yeah,
guys.
that's happened a lot.
Okay.
I don't really even think you have to do much for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Just have to
you
show
can
up.
pick it up.
Oh, you're on the stage. Cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know you could get up there.
You made it up that
yeah.
high.
Oh, you can be seen. Imagine.
We've definitely had some weird comments, like, you know, and I remember we were outside a Crowbar and there was a guy being like, oh, your boyfriend's drums, and she's like, they're mine. So yeah, like you get weird stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I think not so much recently, but in the years there's definitely been some. But yeah, my grab's always been sound guys.
Yeah.
There's always been some weird comments from sound guys.
Yeah.
Like, and afterwards being like, oh, you guys are all right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you feel like it's gotten less as you've gone on?
Yeah.
I think it's gotten better.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Going back to what we were saying about more girl bands, more women on stage. I don't know why if that's been a. If
It's
it's
just
me,
sort of more
but-
awareness, I think, of the plight of women, especially in music and arts and things like that.
Yeah.
People are being more vocal. It's been a while now since 2016. I don't know when was the Me Too movement. That's been a while away.
I think people are just more. It's more common now to have a woman on the stage, you know, in Brisbane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
It's not unheard of.
I think it's gotten better.
Brisbane's come a long way too.
It has.
Because we were never like the artsy city compared to other places.
We've
Yeah.
gone. It's gone crazy.
I remember back in the day when you would tell somebody that you're in a band and they'd be like, why are you in Brisbane? But now...
Yeah, it used to be Melbourne. Yeah, I mean, we even discussed once moving to Melbourne as a band. Like, we were like, is that the right move?
Everyone was doing it at the time. And we're like, is that what you got to do?
Yeah, but Brisbane's definitely
But clearly
taken
not.
No, because then a global pandemic happens and everyone starts moving to the state.
And
then you're the only place open.
Now there's more arts and more competition.
Right? Not a bad thing, though.
Now we're Melbourne.
Yeah, it's become the new Melbourne, I think.
Just might need some more cafes.
In Brisbane?
That's what I say. Yeah. Load them up.
Just stack them on top of each other.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to just walk next door. That'd be great.
So obviously we spoke a bit about in the beginning the opportunities that you guys have had with this band. Can we talk a bit about your career highlights and I guess like the favourite opportunities that you've had so far?
Yeah, of course you can.
Because you guys opened for Adore Delano.
Oh, yeah. We did that.
Did you forget about that?
Honestly, yeah. I forget about everything. Like, not
because she didn't go next door to have the coffee.
Yeah.
She had no coffee.
She couldn't.
There's no cafe in this complex.
No cafe in this one. I'm talking about.
That was for me. I have a Doors tattoo actually.
Oh my God.
So when our manager had brought that to us, and I was like, no, and he's like, yeah, and I didn't quite understand how, but I was pretty shocked. We got there and it was really happening. She was there and she liked us. She loved our band.
Yeah.
So you were in complete disbelief until you got
shocked.
there.
I was like, no, this
She
is
was
still not
buzzing
happening.
hard.
It was, I had met her a couple of times before, obviously, and done my fangirl stuff. And for some reason in my head, I'd always sort of thought about this because I always knew she played music and stuff like that and was like, oh, if she ever toured here, like that'd be really cool. But I also didn't,
Yeah, I was going to say you
maybe, but
manifested
I
it.
also didn't think there was room for sort of, I guess, like I thought it would be something else that would be supporting her, not us.
Like a burlesque show or something to go
Just
with kind of like...
anything that's not a punk band, but you know, she is quite alternative. But
I don't even know how we got that gig.
it was awesome. Unfortunately, she had something happen with her band. It was only her and a guitarist.
Yeah, it was super stripped
and
back.
so she was like, oh man, like you guys made me want to have my band here. Like, I was very nervous. But yeah, no, that was unbelievable. And that was the thing, like not just supporting bands or whatever, like doing stuff like that. Like,
we also did Big Gay Day with Mel C. That was pretty good.
That's cool.
We did a couple of really cool big gay days actually. Mel C, Veronica's. So I think the gay days for me were really important for us as a queer band.
Whether or not they enjoyed having us there or not.
I'm like, I have more to say on that I'm not going to keep
It
going
was like,
on about.
this is one for the lesbians only.
But you guys have always had a really big LGBT following. So I think anybody there would have been able to really receive the energy that you give.
Yeah, we always had a good time there.
Everyone up the front was always having a good time, that's for sure. Yeah.
Doing anything in the queer community is always good. I think I don't know where we fit into the queer community sometimes, being the genre that we are.
Yeah.
And I think that, and this isn't a dig, but obviously I think in Brisbane especially, the queer community is very served to men and like a lot of drag queens and stuff. And we've worked with drag queens before. That's awesome. But
super fun.
For me, I'm always trying to find a new avenue in the queer community.
And there's like events that pop up for like, you know, a different genre of, I suppose, entertainment in the queer space.
Yeah. I don't think bands are appreciated
It's few and
enough.
far between. Yeah, there's no like place to go.
Hence why
it's
I
like
sort of created Birkenstock. We put on Birkenstock, and for me that was for the women, for the lesbians, because there aren't very many events up here. So you know, being Jane Lane played that, and it was well received. So I think I personally I'm just trying to find our space still in the queer community, and not in a bad way, just
sometimes it
away
can
from
be,
the DJs.
Yeah, well, that's true. And I think that's another thing about queer culture is we're under this illusion or under this umbrella that everything queer has to be clubbing.
Yes.
Has to be in an alcohol and drug fueled space.
Yeah.
And that's not the truth.
Yeah. No.
But because that's all we have or that's all we see.
Yeah.
That's why other events are so important.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
And sometimes not fitting into a particular space can be a positive because you then do have, Adore Delano. And
Well, that's it. And like we've had, like I said,
this
we've
is
had
true.
so many opportunities, and you know, in the sort
and
of
across the board, like you said, different spaces for sure. Like from Big Gay Day to like.
we were like Pride as well. We've done Pride.
Yeah, just all. Yeah,
we played
all
the
the
weekend
spaces.
before, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just go wherever. I guess it's, you know, we just want to play music, and if our music's received somewhere, then we're pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, put us on.
So outside of music though, Lou, you have this awesome barbershop.
I do.
Tegan, what do you do?
I have a job, and I also
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Right, we should all congratulate ourselves, right? I also do radio, so I got a show on 4ZZZ. Shout out 4ZZZ. Subscribe. It's called The Hangover, and I do it with another Brisbane female punk person, Jodie Flange.
Awesome. Flangipanis?
Yep, from Flangipanis. And also Claire at the moment as well is hosting with us. So yeah, it's just a silly show in the afternoon where we just play all like new music from around Brisbane, mainly female focused, and yeah, just put it up there on the radio. Do a segment called Babe of the Week, and also like it on this day because I like really enjoy history, so it's a bit of a buzz for me to know what's happened on this day.
That's cool.
I'm like,
Lou's
much
like,
to
don't
her
get us
annoyance
started.
for some reason. I don't know.
No.
But every time I talk about it, she's like, oh,
No, it's just Teigan really likes the Titanic.
I do, yeah. I'm like,
I
that's
love the
also
Titanic
yeah,
too. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that stuff. Yeah.
They've got an event here in Brisbane.
Yep, I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this.
My mum bought me tickets. She did.
Love that.
Yeah, love you, Mum.
I
Shout
have
out.
yet to get my tickets, but I'm going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And how did the barbershop come to fruition for you?
My friend and I, we worked somewhere else and we got the shits with that because sometimes barbershop owners weren't very nice. And this opportunity came up and we're like, you know what? We're going to regret it if we don't do it. So yeah, we put our energy and money and time into this little spot, which obviously, you know, we knew it would be hard, but a small business is definitely challenging. But yeah, look, we cut hair and we just set up this thing and people, same as music. If you want to come get a haircut, we're here. So yeah, that's what I do in my time. I cut hair.
It's awesome. Cool.
There's not much more to that.
I think it's important to take pride in all of these things that you do, though. It's amazing accomplishment to get as far as we get.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything can be such a harrowing time, and to be able to have these little goals that we achieve, I think it's really, really great.
I think that's we
just like yourselves.
Oh,
yeah. Like,
Thank
you should
you.
be proud of yourselves for what you've done here.
We are, and
Yeah.
we're proud of you guys too.
And great shirts as well.
Oh, thank you.
They are cool shirts.
Super gay.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
wish I was wearing one of those shirts.
We're working on it.
working on
Alright,
that.
guys.
We're working on the merch
Yeah,
side of
got
it.
to.
I think that like something Tegan's always said though too, like when you're living it, it's not as sometimes as glamorous or as glorious as it may look from the outside.
Yeah.
And for somebody who really needs instant gratification, you know, it can be really painful.
I know. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
The other day here, I said something and my business partner was like, what do you want? I'm like, validation. She's like, you don't get that anymore. I'm like, all right. And that's the thing. Once you're at that point, it's like you don't get that every day. So it's you're kind of just grinding and going by doing the right thing. So
it is good to reflect and think about all the things that you have.
And when we
done
do
as
stuff
well.
like this, like especially with the band, it's like, oh yeah, we have done some really cool things.
Yeah.
And I think you forget to stop and appreciate
Yeah.
and reflect and go, wow, we actually, despite what happens in the future, we've done some cool things.
Yes.
And sometimes I think we need to stop and stop being so hard on ourselves and go, oh yeah, like it's been a long time as
Yeah.
well. So, but yeah,
Pat
when you're in
ourselves
it,
on the
it's
back.
not as,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
It can definitely be difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, it can definitely be difficult. But always it feels like it's worth it. Being able to go out on stage and put out the energy and get the energy back is just like not something that everybody gets to experience for starters. And it's also just like a super invigorating thing to be able to be a part of, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you're
we're
giving
lucky.
other people life by doing that. And I think
It's an exchange.
we often forget about what we're giving other people by being in a space.
Yeah.
Because it
Yes.
can get, the grind is
Yeah,
hard. The
it
grind
is.
is
But
hard.
you're also still going, well, who is listening to us?
Yeah.
Like, I forget that people actually listen to us and
Yeah. Well, that's too. Like, I'm like, oh, no one's going to listen to this. And then when somebody does, you're like, oh.
yeah, no, he is. I'm like, oh, look, you know, I played this song for my friend or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, cool. Like, you just kind of forget that you're out there and people are listening to you.
Yeah.
So I think, again, stopping and going, oh, we're doing a thing.
You
Yeah.
never know the spaces that you're actually filling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
So talking about reflecting, as we've been reflecting, we're going to take a journey all the way back and talk about your self-discovery journey stories to coming out. Who wants to go first?
Look, you're looking at me. Guess I'll go first. Journey of self-discovery.
Yeah, where did the queer journey start?
Look, I think I'm still discovering myself. That's the straight up answer to that.
Good answer.
Haven't reached our destination just
That
yet.
is a good answer.
But
I should have gone first.
Regrets.
yeah, I think I figured it out when I was quite young, and I think it was a cross between like just like having a crush on this teacher, and then later on it was Drew Barrymore for me that really sealed the deal of knowing that I was gay. I was like, this person, infatuated with them. But then, like, you know, you come out. That was when before I was even a teenager.
Yeah. No, I can relate. Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. I think when I was young, I kissed a girl when I was like really young.
And you liked
That's
it?
my queer journey. Yeah, well, in the words of Katy Perry. Yeah. I really dislike that song, hey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously it's a banger, but like also the content is horrid. Like it was such a queer anthem, and then we all woke up and we're like, oh, right.
We all have some opinions looking back.
Yeah, look, we're not into that anymore. Well, anyway, I'm not. But yeah, that's my queer journey. I'm like... Yeah.
So you had a crush on a teacher before you were a teenager and you're like, wow, gay.
Well, I think in hindsight it was a crush. That's what because I thought about it ages. I'm like, oh man, I think I had a huge crush on Miss Fitzpatrick when I was like in grade 3.
Mine was in grade 3 as well.
Yeah, really. Maybe that's like a time of age when you're like brain
How old
starts
are you
doing
in grade
weird
3?
things.
8.
8.
Wow. Okay.
That's a weird time.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think it's more you mistake infatuation for feelings, maybe because you,
that
as a
happens
kid,
in
you're not
adulthood
thinking about.
too.
You're prepared to know what those feelings are at that age.
Yeah, feelings are so hard though. I feel like
still don't know what they
are. I don't even remember coming out to my mum. It might have been traumatic, I don't know. But I remember coming out to
It might have been if you
grandma.
don't remember. You've like
yeah,
blacked it
that's
out.
what I honestly thought about. I'm like, I can't remember coming out to my mum. Like, what happened? Anyway, she'll probably remember maybe. But yeah, I remember coming out to my gran on the phone and I was like, I wanted to shock her. The idea was to like get a reaction and there wasn't one. So I was happy for that though. But yeah, she was fine with it. She was like, okay. I was like, well.
I never told my gran.
Oh, yeah.
I just, like, she would come and stay and my partner and I lived together and she would come and stay and then she'd be like, why doesn't she ever go home? And I'm like, and I'm like,
she's just weird. I don't know, gran.
I'm like,
Obsessed with me or something.
That's so good.
Why won't she leave?
and then when it came to like the marriage equality vote, my gran was like, I voted no to that. And I was like, but why? What if we wanted to get married? And she goes, I don't care what you do. And I was like, but you just voted no to that. And she goes, oh, was that what that was for?
Oh, gran.
I didn't know.
Gran.
I love my
Gotta
gran,
do
but
your research.
I think this really is like a testament to there should be like an age where you don't vote anymore.
Yeah.
I just think that there needs to be better education around it, obviously.
Also, could there not have been a vote for us to get married?
Jargons, yeah.
Yeah.
All that.
Plebiscites are not fun.
Did we need to
yeah.
have that voted for?
How about just human rights?
Yeah.
I was actually talking about this recently and I'm like, wait, why was there a vote?
Yeah.
Why did we
I
need
remember
that?
thinking that it would be such a good idea just to get everybody to vote for things like that when I was a kid, and then like living through 2 of them now.
The
I'm like,
reality
you know what?
is not great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't great. It just causes more problems.
Yeah, it does. And more divide because,
This
you know,
is the
we
thing.
think we live in a progressed society and then you go on social media and you see all the hate that comes from one thing
Yeah.
Still
and you
there.
think, wow, I'm really not accepted.
I like to
Yeah.
be naive, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways, definitely, that division is becoming part of society as well. Definitely. And yeah, plebiscites definitely
Yeah,
don't
it's not the
help.
go-to, is it?
Yeah. I reckon probably not.
We're
But-
getting super political. I was
Yeah, I was like thinking to myself,
This is getting
reel it in,
better reel it in.
reel it in.
We could go to Lou's coming out
Oh, me.
story.
I'm going to say that really shocking thing that when I was a teenager or when I was younger, I played soccer.
wow, I'm so
I knew this was
Wow.
going to come up.
Well, I was thinking about how to explain this. 'Cause I kind of had that weird thing about like,
Did you want to be a Matilda?
well, yeah, obviously.
That's like the only
When
thing
I was
to
in
aspire to be.
98, yes, let me tell you, it was a very different time for soccer. I did get pretty high up and it was not what it was today. But no, I had one of those things where there was a girl, like I played club outside of school and there was a girl and I was like, oh, the feelings definitely were that confusion of why do I feel that or whatever.
You're like, oh, kick it to me.
Yeah, I didn't say that, I don't think, to her like that, but can you
face
send me that
hurts.
in like a like an audio form?
Absolutely.
An audio file. Can we use that on the album?
Intro of a song.
Definitely.
Anyway, no, I don't know. Yeah, it was a whole thing, but I remember going to my best friend at the time and telling him this and like he's like, oh, it's just a phase. Luke, it is not a phase.
Still here, Luke.
Still gay. I actually had one of those really lackluster things though where it was everyone's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I actually had a good time with it. I don't remember having anything really bad happening, which, you know, I know a lot of people that have had really bad experiences. And yeah, I'm very fortunate in terms of grandparents. My mum was a bit worried about my family and we were at my grandparents' house one day and this must have come up because my nana was like, so my nana has since been to
Yeah,
many
your
gigs.
Your nan's awesome.
She came to see us at Pride one time at Pride Festival, and I just remember her one of the RuPaul's drag queens were actually on the stage being the MC, and I remember Nan looking at me going, that's a guy, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, cool. You know, she was just like, what, drag queen? Yep, sweet, got it. Just want to check. Then she was in one of those Zor balls.
Where you get inside it.
So
and roll
my
around.
I had a very fortunate
Nana Barb, shout
Nana
out.
Barb. Yeah, she's never cared. I'm very fortunate. So
That's awesome.
But yeah, and of course it began with soccer.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Mine began with softball.
Sports.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
It's either soccer or softball.
Did I play softball too? Yes.
Yes.
I had a crush on my English teacher. So.
Yes, me too. Okay, I'm like, did you do drama as well?
Yeah.
There we go. Here we are.
I don't think I had the teacher thing. I don't think I ever had the crush on the teacher.
You probably just weren't spending the quality time learning. No.
What about
Being
celeb crushes though? Those celebrities that you went, fuck yeah, I'm not straight.
Drew Barrymore was mine for sure. I dreamt of taking her to show and tell for school. And then I woke up and I couldn't stop thinking about her for like years and years.
Did you have a scrapbook?
Yeah, on my wall. Yeah, I had a picture of it. There's a picture of me and all my goth mates from high school. And then just wall to wall Drew Barrymore, like tiny cutout pictures, everything. Like,
That's a lot. If it was
love
wall
it.
to wall,
Yeah, it was
like
super.
That's a lot.
You tiled
My
that.
room wasn't very big, but it was a whole wall, yes.
I dreamt of taking her to show and tell.
Yeah, look. Yeah, we had to buzz her out of there real quick. It was getting
I feel like she honestly doesn't want to be there. This is against her will.
No, like I think it was like a fine time. She was so happy to hang with me. Like, yeah,
That's going to be a promo for this episode.
Yeah, right? I took Drew Barrymore to show and tell. Well, she's coming to town. I'm going to go see her.
Sick.
Yeah.
Is she really?
I'm hoping she notices me in the crowd.
I'm concerned, Drew. Just watch out.
Remember when I took you to show and tell in my
Yeah,
dreams?
do you remember that? It was heaps of fun.
Write on a shirt and be like,
Go again.
I had dreams like that too, but my celebrity crush growing up was Britney Spears.
oh,
Dodged a bullet there.
Solid.
yeah, that's, that was a whirlwind.
But I would always have these dreams that I met her, but in the dream, she never looked like her. She was like a
Right.
10-year-old
This is so
girl. And like
weird.
I was 10 at the time,
That's
so that's
so
fine.
normal then.
But that's weird.
That's so normal then.
You went from that. So
You were
weird.
yeah.
But did you take her to show and tell?
I'm like Britney Spears is like what 40?
Yeah.
One.
So like I had the biggest
I don't
crush on her when I
know.
was 10.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
I'm 33.
Yeah. Well, I'm 36, and then happy.
I'm not telling you how old I am.
But I was just thinking about how old you would have been at the same time as Britney Spears, because she was like 12 when she was dancing out there.
No,
the first time.
but like I was 10.
Yeah, she was definitely older than 10.
She was definitely older.
Yeah, definitely.
She would have been like 18 or
Yeah,
something.
True, yeah.
Maybe
She was
him on
16.
time would have been like 16,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not that much.
Britney
I mean,
Spears.
But in my dream, she was
Yeah.
also 10, but she also didn't look like her. So it was like in my dream, I was
That's
like,
so-
Britney, and it's this random 10-year-old girl.
Yeah, but the aura and spirit of Britney Spears, the way you
Definitely.
I
imagined
didn't
her to
have
be
any
in your
weird dreams
mind.
like this.
But
Well,
celebrity
maybe you
crush.
needed imagination.
Maybe. No, mine was Neve Campbell.
Oh, that's a solid one.
Yeah, loved her.
She's always in danger.
And I was there to
Every
save
time
her.
I think of Neve Campbell, she's just like,
Maybe I'm into that.
yeah, because I'm like, it happened through Scream, didn't it?
Yes. Yes.
What was that movie that she was in with Denise Richards and they're making
Wild
out?
Things.
Wild
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah.
I wanted that hair.
You
I
got
wanted
that
that
one
hair.
confused with Cruel
I
Intentions.
always get that movie confused with Cruel Intentions. But I love
Yeah,
how
they're-
much you knew that straight away.
Oh, yeah.
They're both sexy movies.
Mine was
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz
Yeah, that's a
Ooh,
good one.
that is a
She's
good one.
fun.
in the white leather racing suit from Charlie's Angels.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, our celeb crushes are best friends. It's cool.
Anything for leather.
Yeah.
This girl I went to high school with came to the formal in full leather. Like, not a dress, leather pants, leather, like, corset
Bold.
top on the back of a motorcycle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she gay now?
I actually don't know. We weren't
Probably.
like that
If
close.
she's not, anomaly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Find
like,
her.
gonna have to find
Find
out.
her.
I'm like, anybody remember this chick? Yeah. What's she doing now? Yeah, I'll let you know.
It's like queer envelope. I'm happily taken, thank you.
All right. Well, if it doesn't work out, there might be a leather lady out there for you.
This is fun.
You might have to ride the bike. Yeah.
Things coming out today.
Yeah, good times, good times.
Well, before we wrap up, what's next for Being Jane Lane? What's in the works? You mentioned an album.
Yes.
We've I'm going to say just finished because this has been
taken us
going
like 2
a
years.
saga.
Yeah.
We have finished recording an album. It is just finished being mixed and mastered. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
So
we just got to do all that other social media stuff.
So now there's a big, we just got to work out release and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to Jay from Friends Will Romp.
Yeah,
he recorded
cheers.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, look, this has been a long time.
It has.
We've had some hurdles. Nothing unlike Being Jane Lane to have hurdles. This is why I'm surprised we're still here, because everything's a challenge.
Yeah.
But no, it is ready. We're just sort of talking about talking about venues in Brisbane, because obviously with the zoo closing.
Yeah, we would have been at the zoo.
Well, there's just that, we're looking for a venue that's not too big or too small.
Yeah.
So
We've got like 1 gig left for the year.
no, we've got
Alright.
2.
2, sorry.
Well, we're hoping, I don't know. At this stage, I'd like to start out the tour for the album this year, but we might be cutting a bit
yeah,
fine.
like so far. Next
We do
one.
have a gig in August, but in October, we're supposed to be going to New Caledonia.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
So
we got us to go over there.
Yeah,
That
so
was
last
fun.
year we played our first overseas show, which was
Yeah.
New Caledonia. I got asked to play this show, and I was like, "Nah, this is spam for
Yeah,
sure."
it seemed
And
like one of them.
Literally right until we got there, like they picked us up in the van. I'm like, "We're gonna get human trafficked for sure. Something's gonna happen."
Yeah,
And
luckily.
we didn't. we survived. It was real. We played a show. They liked us. They've invited us back. So yeah, that's the end of October, I think. Yep.
Yes.
So we got that, and then
That's the only thing we got lined up though, because we've been trying to focus on getting that album finished.
Yeah. It's
pretty
always
cool,
one
though.
thing and then on to the next, on to
that's
the
it.
next,
And
as
then
you
gigs
said.
start getting in the way of you producing music, and then
Yep.
you're like, what are we doing out
yeah,
here?
it
Playing
is
the same
it's a
songs all
hard
the
it's a
time?
hard balance.
Yeah.
And we do want to sort of start creating our new set and stuff like that.
But
so.
yeah, that's what's on the horizon. New album. It'll probably be a little bit different. The last one.
I think I'm a bit nervous about that actually. Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
little bit different.
It's good to show that you grow though.
I
Like,
agree.
because if people wanted the same thing, they just listen to your other album.
Yes.
is true.
You know? So
Yeah.
it's
And they
good
can
to
do
show
that.
Yeah,
would
exactly.
like.
It's good to
Thank
show
you.
progression. It's good to show change. And
Yeah.
obviously, as we get older and as we mature, we have different influences.
Yeah.
New bands come out and influence us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's good to grow and change.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking forward to it.
Wholeheartedly. Yeah, same.
Same. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been listening to the songs and I enjoy them. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what's most important, because if you're not enjoying your own music,
Yeah,
What's the
there's
point?
no point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like Kings of Leon hate playing Sex on Fire.
Oh,
Like they didn't expect anyone else to like it.
yeah.
That always that actually always interests me when bands
Yeah.
have like a massive song and then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember asking, is it Diana Arnaid who sings that, I'll go off? Is it that? No? Oh, really? Oh, damn. Anyway, I asked her. It was a big banger in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you ever get sick of playing this song? She's like, no way. And I was like, that's the attitude.
That's what you want,
I was
yeah.
like, all right then, girl, let's do this.
There was like that thing where Paramore didn't play Misery Business
yeah, I
for a
heard
while.
about this. I heard about this.
Man, if I was in the crowd, I would have been sad.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a massive fan, but like I actually heard about this and yeah. Do they play it now?
Yeah.
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 They brought it back.
They brought it
It
back.
probably got big on
They know
TikTok
it's good
and they're
for
like,
'em.
oh, yeah, this is it.
Well,
Yeah.
no, Olivia Rodrigo ripped it off, remember?
There
And
we go.
then
They have to do it now.
Brought
have
it
to.
back into the
Yeah.
spotlight
Like,
for
oh, maybe
'em.
we could play it now.
Sounds like that girl's doing a lot for old 90s artists and early 2000s, isn't that when Paramore was? Yeah.
So before we sign off for this episode, what are some of your favourite local bands that everybody can maybe support?
Well, I'm going to go off the bat with Gregory because I saw them last night and now I've decided that they were my favourite local band. And also Horoboros.
Bean Magazine.
Yeah, Bean Magazine, Girl and Girl. Flower Moon Band are awesome at the moment. I'm going to be like not naming people that I want to name, but there's so many good bands out there. Bad Sext also.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
I put
out,
you on the spot there.
I'm going to throw out
Joy in Motion. Yeah.
Porncast Superstar, which is my apprentice's band.
Brisbane music scene is going off, so if anybody wants
Pop enough.
So everyone
music.
get onto those bands. We'll
Do
list
it.
them all in the show notes so that everyone can follow along, and we'll list all your show notes as well. So everyone can go and follow Being Jane Lane, see when their tour is, see when their album is out.
Follow them on
Please.
socials, even though they don't post as often.
Yeah, they don't
We're trying to
post
be better.
much,
We're
but
trying to be
follow.
better. We're trying to be
Follow.
better. Yeah,
Excellent.
with the lead up and everything, we are going to be better at social media.
We'll let you know when things are happening, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
Thanks
for having
us.
us. Thank you for
Yeah,
listening
Thank
to
you
our
for letting
thing.
us use your amazing space.
yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for showing it off.
Yeah, it was such a good chat. My face hurts from smiling.
Does from laughing and
I
smiling.
hope everyone who's listening to this in the car is like laughing to themselves, looking like an idiot.
Or it's just us laughing at ourselves.
We hope that you had an amazing time listening to Lou and Teigan from Being Jane Lane, and here with me, Jess, and
Lauren.
We're going to outro roll one of Being Jane Lane's songs on this episode. So this song is called Titanic.
And until next week.
Stay gay, motherfuckers!
Baby, I'm in love with you, and I never want to see you cry. But every time I do, yeah, it seems to be a fault of mine. So I'm beating myself up inside of my brain just to make up with you. You see me crawling around on the pavement, my patience has ended with you. Baby, I'm in love with you, and I never want to see you down. But every time I do, yeah, it's me who seems to make you frown. So I'm beating myself up inside of my brain just to make up with you.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Just Gay Stuff. Make sure to follow us at Just Gay Stuff Podcast on all your socials and write to us with your stories at justgaystuffpodcast@gmail.com.